Hi guys. You may have noticed the crown on my head, and that's because I'm turning 21. Where is the clapping? I don't hear any clapping. And why is oh my god, the lighting's shit. Wait. You guys know that I film this on my phone, right? That's why it's so shit. It's actually really scary, and I'm not very happy about this whole situation. So that's what we're gonna talk about today, because I am deathly afraid of growing up right now. This is not the time. This is not the time I want to be growing up into an even bigger adult. It's scary, and it's all happening so fast that I really needed to talk about it. Meanwhile, we're gonna do my makeup because I don't think I can talk about this for 20 minutes straight without having another distraction, because it scares the shit out of me. So put some sunscreen on, and now we're just gonna yap and do different things. So hi guys, if you don't know me, my name is Julia, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to my little podcast. I don't like to consider this a podcast anymore because I'm just posting whenever I feel like I need to talk about something, which kind of makes this a podcast, honestly. Like, what is the criteria of having a podcast? So, do you guys like my cup? Isn't it so cute? I know. Okay, anyways. I'm turning 21 in 2 days, the 26th of August to be exact. If you don't know, now you know, so you have no excuse of not texting me happy birthday on my birthday. So, at the same time, if you haven't watched other episodes, I am leaving not my country technically, like I am Syrian, but I'm leaving the country I've lived in for 10 plus years and finally going abroad. I don't know if this is going to be a permanent thing or not, but I'm going for at least a year. That's all I know. And it's scaring the shit out of me. This, combined with me turning 21 and leaving everything I've ever known, has been a really big challenge for me, even if it's exactly what I've wanted for so long. Like, all I've wanted my whole life is to leave the places I've lived in and go abroad, go to Europe, go to the US, whatever. So now that I'm leaving, I'm actually scared shitless. And at the same time, I'm leaving everything I've ever known, everything I've grown up with, culture-wise, friends-wise, family-wise. And it's really scary. I didn't even expect it to be scary because I was like, whatever, you wanted this for so long, so like, you have nothing to be scared of. But now, I'm leaving in like, what, 3 weeks? Goddamn. That's actually so, so scary. But I want to talk about a couple more things than just like growing up in this episode. Because I had therapy this morning, and I almost missed therapy for the first time in my life because I overslept. Like, who am I? I've never done this before. And then I realized that I'm just putting way too much pressure on myself, and that's why I've missed therapy for the first time in my life. Like, that's not something I usually do, guys. So I knew something was fucked when I woke up and it was 1:30 and my therapy session was at 1 p.m. But she was kind enough to get me in another session. So, but then we were talking about me leaving and all that shebang. And then I realized that I was really scared of leaving because I didn't think I was strong enough to like handle another of this type of conflict, not conflict, but this change. I'm really scared of changing right now, which is weird because I've always, for the last 3 years, all I've wanted is to have a bit of change, a bit of excitement in my life. And you can actually find like times in certain videos where I've said like, all I want is to have a little bit of excitement in my life again. Like, I want something to look forward to. And now that it's actually happening, I've just been really scared of this change, but it's the most normal thing that could ever happen to me. Change is inevitable, and we all go through change. I'm going through changes. Maybe this is why I've binge watched Big Mouth in 2 months. It's actually a really good show. Everyone over the age of 12 is a bit little, 13, should watch this show. I wish I watched the show when I was in middle school. It would have made life so much easier. I wish I rewatched it, like watched it in 5th grade, then maybe watched it again in 9th grade, and watched it again now. Like, that's how much I love this show, and I think it's so educational. Anyways, but it's the most normal thing in the world for me a 20-year-old girl to be growing up. It's the most normal thing to ever happen to anyone, to grow up, to change, to go new places, to meet new people. But I think when it's actively happening to you in a way where you can understand it, like not gradual, but more sudden, I think that's when it kind of fucks you up because you can notice it. Like, I wish I didn't notice it because for the last 3 years, I've been in such a comfort zone. I've had the same friends mostly. I've been in the same relationship, and nothing new has really happened. And I've been really comfortable in my life, and I've been really like, okay, yeah, like I want to leave, but right now it's not too bad either. And I've just been chilling, and I've just been studying, going on holiday sometimes, staying home, and it's been really comfortable, to be honest. And now it's just this whole new world is opening in front of me, and I get to go in this new world, and I'm scared. God damn it, I'm scared. And I think a lot of us have a really hard time kind of like expressing being scared. But then in therapy, I was explaining how scared I am, and she was like, what are you scared of? Like, why, where do you think this fear is coming from? And I was like, maybe I'm just scared of not being able to handle it, because it's a really big thing to do, to move across the country, not the country, to move across the world by yourself. And I think I'm just scared that I won't be able to handle it. And then we started talking about how, like, have I ever acknowledged everything that I've accomplished till now? And I realized that I haven't. I've never acknowledged a single, like, success that I've had in my life. And then after the therapy session ended, I sat down and I started writing, like, what have I accomplished this year? What have I accomplished in my 21 years of living? And I realized that it's a lot. It really is a lot. And I don't know, I got into a million colleges. And when that didn't work out, I got into another million colleges, and I tried to figure out my way then. I moved across the country by myself, which is also a big step. So there was a time in my life where, I don't know, we moved back to Syria after coming to Turkey. Well, it's not that important. But I never acknowledged how, like, an important of a time that was for me. Not in, like, it was really hard and I was really depressed, but in a more like, I did that. Like, I actually got through that, and now I'm here. And I think it's been really hard for me to express that I've done good things in my life, that I've handled these situations before, because they may be so far away, or I just don't remember them how they happened. Like, I just remember the hard parts. I don't remember that, oh my God, the hard parts were over at a point, and I did get through them, and now I'm here, and I'm doing another hard thing that I will be able to get over one day. And it's just been hard for me to acknowledge and express that, oh yeah, I can do this, because I forgot all the other times I've done anything in my life. Like, I've been making music since I was like 13. I've had this YouTube channel since I was 13. And I think not seeing a big change, or like, I'm still in the journey of being where I want to be. So being in this journey, not being at the point B, has really messed me up in this way. I've just been thinking that I haven't been doing anything. But you know what? Consistency is the best thing I can be doing right now. I've been really consistent with this. Like, I've been doing music for what, 8 years now? And YouTube, what, also 8 years now? And I think it says a lot about me as a person. Even if this doesn't go anywhere, I'm not even talking in like a career way, but being this consistent in something you want to be doing is still really important. Even if you're not as consistent, even if it's not once a month, if it's once a year, it's still a big thing that you aren't giving up on what you want to be doing in life. And it's huge. It's huge. Imagine if you gave up. I don't know, maybe nothing would have changed, but you would have regretted all your life. Like, for me, I'm really glad that I've been this consistent with what I want, and I still want it, and I'm still doing it, and I'm not giving up on it. And I think that's something else to be proud of, even if we don't see the final, like, resolutions of everything we've been doing. It's still important to acknowledge that we've been doing it. You know what I mean? Am I making any sense, or am I just not understandable whatsoever? And I'm talking in a speed that I don't talk in usually, so sorry if this is a bit like all over the place and chaotic. Anyways, a little bit of a makeup break, honestly. Let's do my lip liner, but I don't want this lip liner. I love how I went from like talking about how scared I am of life to which lip liner should I do today. But I guess this is what life is, honestly. This is the most accurate thing I've ever done. This lip liner is so close to my actual lip color that I really appreciate it, honestly. Okay. One step done. I can't talk and do makeup at the same time, but I keep trying to do it in every single like get ready / podcast video. Anyways, I think another reason why I'm so scared of growing up and just turning 21 is because it's like every year I keep getting further away from my childhood, and every year it's just been every year I get further away from my childhood. It's like I have to accept that my childhood and my 18 years of life have happened that way. Like my childhood is over, high school's over, middle school's over, and even though at the time I wished for them to be over so many times. I prayed that I would just grow up, move away, and just live a brand new life. But now when I think about it, it's like, now I have to accept that it's over and that I can't change anything about it. You know, and that's really hard because if your childhood or high school experience or all these years of your life that you're in your formative years, if they didn't happen like you wanted them to happen, if they didn't occur in a way that's like you deem as cool or interesting or, I don't know, worthy, it's really hard to keep getting further away from those years and having to tell stories about these years, you know, when you're sitting around with your friends and you're like, oh my God, yeah, I did this in high school. I did that when I was in 5th grade. Yeah, that happened to me. And you keep mentioning these things as things in the past and that you can't even reach anymore. That's when you realize, like, God damn, everything that has happened to me will forever be something that I have to talk about and mention, and I can't change it. It's not like new experiences aren't being added on top of it. And you can tell me, yeah, like the same thing goes with being 20 or 21, which is true. Like in my 30s, I'm probably going to talk about this time and be like, oh yeah, I can't change anything. And I'm getting further and further away from it. And I'm not even that old. Goddamn, I'm 21. But at the same time, I'm 21. And this means a part of my life is over. Not because like I don't have a whimsical life right now, but I don't know. I think I've been really just thinking about my childhood in a way like I didn't have as much whimsy as I'd like to. I didn't have that much adventure as I'd like to. But honestly, at the end of the day, it is over. And you can't do anything to change it at this point. Like, if you got bullied in 7th grade, you got bullied in 7th grade. If you didn't go on that trip that changed everyone's life, you didn't go on that trip. If you didn't drink when you were in high school, you didn't drink when you were in high school. If you were lame, if you were cool, if you were popular, if you're not popular anymore, it just doesn't matter anymore because it's done. It's all done. And I think we cling on to that part of ourselves so much. We cling on to what kind of person we were at a certain time in our lives, and we just roll with it. Like, I think we trap ourselves in this idea of what our personality was and should be, and we just roll with it. Like, oh, I'm just not that type of person. Oh, I just don't like sports because I'm not a sport type of girl. You know what I mean? Like, we put these characteristic onto ourselves without even trying. Like, you don't have to be the person you were when you were in 7th grade. You don't have to be the person you were yesterday. And everyone sees change as like a bad thing, which I just mentioned at the start of this video, but I'm not talking about that type of change, but it is intertwined in a way. I'm talking about like personality change. Like, you know, when your friends come up to you one day and they're like, you've changed so much. Like, it's the most normal thing in the world for you to change. And even if it's done in like one day, even if you wake up today and you're like, you know what, I don't want to be this person anymore, and you see the things that you don't want to be and you change them, I think that's what life is. That's what life should be. You should change. You don't have to be the same person you are all the time. You can be a different person in different scenarios. That doesn't make you a fake person. That doesn't make you a person who's not reliable. Or change doesn't always have to be so negative. You know, if you change, for example, and the people around you don't like it, it's okay. Maybe those people aren't meant for you. If the people around you don't allow you that space to grow and change and figure out who you are, then you never will. If you don't kind of leave that and go into your own little cocoon. Cocoon doesn't have to be like being alone all the time. It just, you need to create a space for yourself to figure out who you are. Because if you never do, you're gonna end up 40 still with the same people who also haven't changed, and like kind of piling it on top of each other. Yeah, we've been doing this for 40 years and we're still here and we still don't know anything about ourselves. And y'all are gonna probably get married and have kids and still don't know anything about yourselves. Goddamn. I've gotten so off topic, sorry. But at the end of the day, it's okay to think about things that you don't like about yourself and change them. It's okay to go through experiences and be changed by them. Wow, this video started off with me like, I'm so scared of changing, but it's just normal. It's okay. I feel like this is more of like a 101 thing. Like, can you guys get off? Like, I feel like I'm talking to myself like in a very therapeutic manner. But at the end of the day, your childhood happened. Whatever happened last year happened. Whatever happened this year happened. And if you have the slight like want of changing, or I don't know, seeing the world as more than just your own world and kind of like widening your point of view, it's worth it. I think it'll be worth it. Even if I'm extremely scared right now, I don't think I'll ever be 100% ready to leave anywhere. I think the reason why I felt so comfortable leaving and starting over for the past years of my life has been because I've always gotten to a point where I just hate it there, and I don't want to be there. I have no friends. I have no will to be staying in the place that I was staying. Like, for example, in Syria, at the end of like my 2-3 years of high school there, I just didn't want to be there anymore. I had no one left. Not no one left. Like, some of my friends left. I didn't want to be making new friends. I didn't feel comfortable there. I wasn't even leaving the house. It was COVID, and I had no reason for me to stay there. All my friends were here in Turkey, and all I wanted to be was with my friends. And that's why it was so easy leaving. It was even the happiest moment of my life leaving and coming back here. But now I have things to lose, you know? Like, I have friends here that are probably gonna not forget about me, but we're gonna stop talking so often. I have important connections that I'm probably gonna miss so much. And it's kind of sad, but at the same time, it is a privilege to have something that you're so scared of losing. But I think in a year's time, when I make another video about me turning 22, I hope I'll say that it did go all right and I'm fine. And nothing has to be definite, you know? If you leave and you don't like it, you can come back. You can go to other places. You can explore, and you can change your mind, and you can even like it and stay. I mean, I think I get so caught up in like, if I make one decision, I have to stick with it for the rest of my life. And it doesn't have to be that way. Even about labels, even about your, I don't know, how apartment of choice, sexuality, like preferences, food preference, anything. I think it is okay to change your mind. It is okay if you wake up one day and be like, I don't like pizza anymore. Or if you figure something new about yourself and you're like, oh, maybe I want to explore this part of my sexuality. You know what I mean? Oh, goddamn. It's okay. I think, what was that laugh? I've never laughed like that in my life. And hasn't my hair gotten so long, guys? Thumbnail? Last night I was watching The Summer I Turned Pretty, season 3. But please don't hate me for this, but I didn't. This is the first time I don't watch the first 2 seasons of something and then I just start watching in the middle of it. But I had enough information to be able to catch up, okay? I knew everything, kind of, about what happened in the past 2 seasons, and I just wanted to kind of catch up with the world because I've seen edits of it everywhere and I didn't want to get any spoilers. Anyways, but even though the acting is sometimes cringe, Sorry. It is sometimes. But it hit me in a place where I was like, if 8th grade me watched this, she would be crushed. She would be crying. And then I start crying because I'm still her. Like, I think we're all kind of, like, every year we get older, we just keep parts of ourselves. And, like, now I can still be my 8th grade version sometimes. I can still be 15, I can still be 16, and I can still be 20, and I can be 5, you know? It's okay if sometimes we're more emotional or immature. Yeah, and anyways, not the yan, not the Turkish coming out of me, but it's okay. And so yesterday when I was watching this show, and I started bawling my eyes out, bawling about everything that's going on in the show, and I don't want to spoil it for you guys. Spoilers ahead. The summer I turned pretty, spoilers ahead. Okay, I'm gonna now speak freely about this. So she's getting gut and married. She's like leaving college. She's going through all of these things, and I hate that man. I hate that man, Jeremiah. I hate that man. Sorry. But anyways, it's not even about her. It's not even about the show. But she's going through all of these things, and like when she went in the scenes with like her ex-boyfriend, Conrad, I just felt so like nostalgic. I was like, what if one day I'm gonna have these bittersweet feelings again about the people in my life? And it got me thinking, like, you know, when you break up with someone and like you see them 2 years later and it's chill, like, if you haven't broken up like really badly, and you just sit down and you get a cup of coffee and you talk about your life and how it's been for the past 2 years they haven't been in them. I hate that feeling, okay? I love it and I hate it at the same time, because I love the feeling, like, I'm not the type of person who can really leave people behind. Like, anyone who's ever come into my life, I still think about them sometimes. Not in like a romantic or any type of way, or not even in a platonic way. I'm curious. Like, what have you been up to? How's life been? Like, are you good? Is there any big changes? You know, like, I'm very curious about this type of stuff. So whenever someone comes in my life, even if we don't talk anymore, I'm still kind of curious. Like, one day I'd probably like to get a cup of coffee and kind of tea with them, you know? So and I've done that sometimes. Like, I've done that like multiple times with different people, friends, exes, blah, blah, blah. And every time it's this like gut feeling in your stomach or heart, like when your heart sinks and they talk about their new life and you're not in it, but you're still happy because you're there and you can still kind of talk about it. And it's really like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like this bittersweetness of knowing someone so well and not knowing them anymore and not knowing their life anymore. And when I think about it right now, I hate it. I don't like that feeling. It's like, it feels so warm but so cold. Anyways, it's not even about that. But when I was like watching those scenes with Conrad and Belly, what kind of fucking name is that? Anyways, when I was seeing them, I was like, oh my god, I'm probably gonna live through that so many times in my life. Maybe, like, I'm gonna have that bittersweet feeling of people from, I don't know, high school, seeing them again and getting some coffee with them, old friends, exes, again and again and again. And life is just a series of these bittersweet feelings. And it scared the shit out of me. Obviously, can you tell the theme of me turning 21 is really scared? Anyways, so that's what I was bawling about. And then the fucking show switched to Belly and Jeremiah scenes, and I just had to skip them all because they get on my last nerve. I've been talking for 26 minutes straight. It's actually insane. But I want to end this right now because I've just been going in circles. If you want me to make a part 2 about why I'm scared shitless about turning 21 and leaving, please let me know. I will, because I still have a lot of thoughts, but I don't want to make this episode any longer, and I know I'm not going to cut anything out. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. This has been a really personal episode for me, which I'm trying not to get too personal on here because I don't want to give people the right to talk about my personal life, but at the same time, I'm a very open girl and I'm an open book, and I like to talk about my experiences because I like watching people talk about their experiences with their own lives, and it makes me feel kind of at peace. And I know me talking makes some of you feel at peace as well. Yeah, and that's basically it. So I'll see you in the next one, and happy birthday to me. That's why I had my tiara on the whole video. My song's coming out on the 29th of August. I get a lisp after talking this long. My song's coming out please stream it 29th of August. And wish me happy birthday. Yeah, okay. I'm leaving. Bye.